So now let's work on the login process. So let's go right here. First of all, let's go to the routes and add the routes for the login. So this is going to be post also, and it's going to be /login, and then the function we're going to call it login, and also let's import it right here. Okay, and in the controller itself we want to create the login function exports.login, and it's going to be an async function and the request and the response, and we do everything right here. Okay, so first of all we're going to need to have a try catch. If you didn't use this right here, so I think it's necessary because you always can have an internal server error, so I think it's best to always use it. Okay, so can you always use it right here, and then in the catch right here I'm going to take this message and return it right here, and also add it right here. Okay, I think this is always necessary to do to make sure that you always can have an internal server error, so you add it right here. Okay, so in the try we're going to get the email and the password, okay, to use it to login. Okay, so we're going to have the email and the password, and after this we're going to go and search for this email if it exists or not. Okay, so we're going to search for the user if it exists or not, and we're going to use the email for that. So we're going to have accounts and the user, and we're going to go await, and we're going to go to the user and then find one, and we're going to use the email to search by, and then we're going to pass the email from the body, and where they are the same you can like just do it like this and it still works. So if there is no user, that means this account doesn't exist. So it's simply going to return, and then we're going to have a response to Sarah's 400, and then we're going to JSON a message. Okay, and the message is going to be this email doesn't exist, or let's see, this email address you entered is not correct, or is not connected. Okay, it was not connected to an account. So I'm using the same ones the Facebook user. Exactly. Okay, so now if we want to check, so we're going to go to Postman, and let's have another request. So we're going to create a request, and let's call it login. Okay, and in the post we're going to have HTTP, and then right here is going to be login, and in the body we're going to go to row, and as I said before, JSON, and right here we're going to define the variables. So the first one is going to be the email, so let's have like some email at gmail.com. okay, and then right here we're gonna have the password. Okay, and the password is gonna be, okay, this is gonna be like this, and then we're gonna pass some random password right here. Okay, and if we send right now, we're gonna see that this is, I think this email already exists, so let's change it. I think this exists. Okay, which is, we use this in the some episode. Okay, so let's change this to some random email, and we're gonna send, and we're gonna see the email address you entered is not connected to an account. Okay, the email address you entered is not connected to an account. So now let's go back right here, so else, so you don't need to use else, so because we have a return right here. So if this is not true, if the user doesn't exist, is gonna return and stop the codes. So right here we're gonna go, and now we're gonna create I'm gonna check for the password if it's right or wrong. So because the password that we have in the database, as you see right here, is crypted using, or we use bcrypt. Okay, so it's crypted. So now we're gonna check if it's, you know, the same password or not. Right here we're gonna have a check, and we're gonna wait and use bcrypt, and then we're gonna compare the passwords that we have. So we're gonna compare the password that we sent in the body, this password, and we're gonna compare it with the user password that we get right here from the user when we search by the email. Okay, and this check is gonna return true if the password is correct, and if the password is wrong, it's gonna be check false. Okay, see, so when check is false, that means the password is wrong. So right here we're gonna return, so we're gonna stop the code, and we're gonna return the same way right here. This way, this time is gonna be an error. Let's see what error I have right here. Is gonna be invalid credentials. Okay, and then we're gonna have please try again, for example. Okay, so now if the password is wrong, it's gonna stop right here. Okay, if it's not, you know, the password is true or it's not false, we're gonna do the same thing that we do in the register. We're gonna create a token for the login, and also we're gonna send the information the same way we did in the register part. Okay, so after all of this, we're gonna do the same way right here. Okay, so now if we want to back to Postman, let's try and register with a random email. We don't need any verification right now, so the password is gonna be 123456. Okay, and let's use some random email. Okay, now if we send, and we're going to see that we registered the user right now without everything. So if we try and log in the same informations, so this is the email that we're going to use, and we're going to use this password. Okay, so in the login right here, we're going to have the email, and then if we try to use the same password right here, it's going to be wrong. So we're going to get a message right here, invalid credentials, please try again. And if we had like the same, you know, the true password, and if we change like something right here, if we add 1 at the end and we try to log in, it's going to see the email address you entered is not connected to an account. Okay, and now if everything is all right, the email is right and the password is right, and try to send, and as you see, everything is going to went right, and then we're going to get the information that you want and also the token that we're going to need to verify the user logged in. Okay, so this is the way we do it. It's pretty simple, and the login process is one of the easiest for now.